It's nice to see more games with complexity and depth being released recently, and Wasteland 2's definitely got plenty of those, though for some people that will be the biggest turn off, that and the game demands you put a lot of time into it to get anything out. Wasteland 2 starts you with creating a squad of 4 rangers to explore the wasteland, and immediately this will show you the game's massive amount of skills. It can be very intimidating and you need a squad that complements each other, else you're gonna struggle. The game does provide you with pre-made rangers if you want, but I found them absolutely useless, so it's best to make your own. All your squad skills will help with unlocking doors and chests, disarming traps, alarms, and repairing toasters. Yes, that's actually a skill. There's too many to list, so the variety of squads you can have is insane. Exploring the wasteland is done via an overworld where you will need water to survive. You'll discover locations as you explore and get in locations from NPCs. As you explore the overworld, you'll get random encounters which you have a chance to escape, and this is where you'll experience the game's flawed combat system. For anyone who's played XCOM, the combat will be very familiar. You use action points to move and attack, plus you get bonus defense and hit chance for taking cover, but flaws with the AI and how the game calculates your chance to hit can make it very frustrating, especially in the early game. Over and over again you will miss with over 80% chance to hit, as well as weapons constantly jamming at the worst of times. With the lack of ammo in the early game as well, it's even more annoying. This would be tolerable if the enemies suffered these setbacks as well, but they don't. I've never seen an enemy's gun jam or run out of ammo, and they don't miss often enough. It feels like the enemies are playing by different rules to you. One particular early boss is absurd. For this, his gun hits all the time and for extremely heavy damage, while you're missing from point blank with a shotgun. It doesn't help that the game is poor at explaining some things. For example, the game never explains crouching in combat, which improves your evasion and accuracy. This is something I discovered by accident. Whilst the combat system is a tactical one, the enemies don't really use any strategies besides charge right at you or take cover and hit you with perfect accuracy. Whereas in XCOM, enemies would try to flank you and get the elevation bonus. This improves later in the game when you've put some points in your weapon skills and the game gets much better, but it's a big time investment to get to that point. I can see most players getting too frustrated before that point. I came very close, but I'm glad I stuck with it, because exploring the world is immersive and there's lots of ways to approach your objectives. You can go in guns blazing, blowing up every door in your way, or pick the lock on the gate and go around the back to take the enemy by surprise. All the skills you learn open up new avenues for adventure, so there's plenty of replayability, and it does a good job of small choices having big consequences later down the line. And you can literally do whatever you please. If a quest giver gives you lip, ram your shotgun in the face and pull the trigger, though it'll probably miss. Graphically, the game looks average, which is why it's so puzzling when the frame rate drops during combat. I did experience glitches and a crash at one point, but no game breaking bugs. Control wise, it's clunky on a controller. Menu navigation is okay, but in combat the cursor sometimes has a mind of its own. I'm really torn on whether I recommend Wasteland 2. At its price point of 30 quid, it's not too expensive, so there's that. If you have patience, you can get through those early portions and hopefully enjoy it, but for everyone else, this is a try before you buy, because this really isn't a game for everyone.